How do I sing the same song when I'm going live? So why should it be true? Head meeting off. Let's head me. Okay. I am live. Um, I just wanted to I'm keeping busy. Down old bucket that I used to water with, water the hens with. I just finished, the rain is coming down a little bit harder. I just finished my broody hen. I had to take out of the coop and lock her down, so hens on lockdown. What's up, people's coming into the chat? Um, this is an old peanut oil bottle. Love your name. Where? uh, Una Punk. Yo, man, how was your day? Day's just getting started, man. So far, I've done some chores. I went to a little league game. It's raining. I was juggling on some pickleball courts. Edna Navarro, hi, how are you? So I'm just hanging out here, chatting in the backyard. So if you guys are down for a chat, I'm gonna be goaded. Do a backflip. I got you. It's a bucket flip. Um, so I got these chicken water cups and this bucket. I'm in working on a pool, so in ground pool, and this bucket flew in there at some point, and hopefully these cups are good. But what I'm thinking is I suck with the whole watering thing, and I'm thinking one, I know why I suck. Uh, I didn't put the usually when I make these buckets, I should have put these down here, these cups down here. Where are you from? I'm from New York, man. I'm in New York and I'm from New York. Put these buckets, put this cup down here, and then prop it up. But these buckets have a lifespan anyway, you know. So I have this right here, and I was just thinking through how am I gonna fish something through. So I guess you could see me try to get this through here. My hand can't get through. I was hoping to borrow a newborn. It's so dark in Poland. Yeah, well, I'm not in Poland. So this, oh man, it still has the oil smell. So we'll have to wash that out a little bit. None won't hurt nothing. But I can't get my hand in there. So I'm gonna try to fish. I'm gonna drill a hole in here. I could go for 3. That usually helps with like giving the hens a little bit of privacy. But 2 in the front probably be good. If I put them in the front, the benefit then is so sad that it's dark. Why is it so dark? Is this a certain time of year, or you just don't like the nighttime? So if I just put it in the front, that way I don't have an issue with, however I'm gonna turn it. And I could always just add another cup if I need to. So this is It's definitely more than a gallon. I don't know if it's two. I don't know how they sell it, but this is peanut oil. And what gave me this idea is so I made, obviously I got this size peanut oil, and I have this one, but just observing like the type of plastic, I've not left this thing out. It's obviously food grade because oil was in here. Water did not penetrate it, even though I left it out in the elements. It's been buried in snow. It doesn't, nothing that I could see of any water in here. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Hope that child is found safe. So when I see these type of things, I'm always in like observation mode. I don't know where I put the other side of this. Did I not take it out yet? Probably didn't take it out yet. But when I observe things like this, my biggest goal, and if you take the ride on the channel with me, you'll notice that I find myself in a bunch of projects where I'm upscaling stuff and I'm not wasting materials, and I'm getting ideas myself, but I'm also showing people the thought process behind it. So like I said, with this, yes, my hand can't get into it, but it has a nice screw top as well. So if I wanted to kind of fix a tube in here, some sort of a tube, that would be nice. Could even have something to where I put like a some sort of a float valve on it, and then I could fill it automatically. So that's on the way. But for now, I just need to have it so that I'm not watering every day, or they're not losing water throughout the day. Even big enough that I could drop some ice cubes in, sort of like a funnel. But I like it. It's a quality product, and this year, when people are making turkeys for things, people, if they have these left over, because these are easy to move around. So I like them better than what I've been using, like Poland Spring bottles, because they have a lot of ridges. I have like the 2.5 gallon Poland Spring bottles. They have a lot of ridges in it. I actually like this better. So, and we'll keep designing and hopefully someday like inventing systems. I don't dream to invent, but if I'm doing something that someone else is not, or I see it, I do it, then I guess that's considered invention. No real goals there. My goal is just to keep busy. Like the videos, subscribe if you want to hang out. I'm a very interactive live streamer, so if you have things to say in the chat, it's your choice whether you feel the need to troll. That's not on me. I'm probably not going to troll back with you, so if that's what you want, you're not going to get it. I love to laugh. I wish I could be here playing music. Usually I have music in my headphones. I actually don't right now. So let me take these off, make sure I'm not too loud. So let's get started. So I took this one off. I'm not gonna measure. I don't think I'll measure. I do have some drill bits. All I gotta do is get close. I may not have the drill bit, but we shall see. So it's too small. Because it's plastic, I'll probably I don't want it to be too small. It's actually, I think this is just right. I have a rubber stop on here. This rubber seal, that's what's really sealing, making it watertight. So this size is 5/16. Didn't think it was that big, but I guess, yeah, this is actually a little bit bigger. So I'll just take it slow, work it through, or I have 3/8, which I know that's way too big. Yeah, this is 3/8 is pretty much the exact size of it. So it wouldn't screw in if I did that. Well, whoever's hanging out, how are you doing? Where are you from? Um, what do you got going on today? I've never done one of these streams. I've tried to do streams like this in the past, but I don't really have a full agenda. It's just I'm gonna just work through this project and think out loud. I think that's kind of defines what I'm doing. Okay, so let me get this drill. I just put up this canopy that I'm under. This is a new feature for me. So it's not organized yet the way that I need it to be. But it's going to help me organize my tools for sure. Because you got a lot of tools. A lot of tools to get the job done. And who knows and who cares if this is good content or not. I'm just hanging out. It's raining. I don't know if you guys can hear it, a little bit of rain. But the chickens are out there. They pop in and out. You know, they get a little bit, they don't really get wet because their wings look hydrophobic. Alright. I'm just going to remove that comment, that last one. Just because I don't want it to affect the stream negatively. WSGG. Okay. Kato Muffin, what's up? So, don't think it matters much, but I am thinking about if I hold this way, do I really care as to what direction the cups are going to be in? Like, I guess if I'm going to eventually going to try to push stuff through this top, because this is a nice top, it's nice hard plastic, so this will be really good to funnel stuff through, like what you're trying to do. Thank you. So if I'm doing that, and so this is the back, I'm going to declare this the back, so then that makes this the front. I guess my goal is to, it is a little rounded. My goal is to get as low as possible. Kato, I was just explaining this is the last, this is an older situation. This is a peanut oil container that has been left outside, and it has not weathered at all. Water has not penetrated it. We've had 20 inches of snow on the ground for a month. I'm pretty sure this was buried. So if I had to decide whether or not this is going to be able to hold water for a long time, stand up. Okay, what's your plastic? I'm explaining it. So I'm just trying to put some watering cups on this, and I'm talking through why I'm using this and how I could envision this as I continue to add systems to it. So I'm just going to pick the flattest part, like once it starts getting flat and not rounded, because I want the water to seal properly. And I'm going to, there's actually you can't see it, there's a faint line on it. I'm going to go underneath that line. And this is plastic, so I'm not trying to go drill too hard. I'll just take it slow. Some people say if you go backwards first, it helps. What the heck? I mean, yeah, my bit is tragic, but I didn't expect it to hold up that good. What is this plastic made? Because so I don't want to tear it, so that's why I'm kind of going with the method that I'm going with. Um, okay, I see what the issue was. Okay, we're over it. We're over it. Didn't tear it. I got a nice little hole. So let's see if you can see that. Okay, and it's a circle. There's no splits on it. It does get a little furred on the edges, but I got a nice little hole there. So, and the craziest part about this is I've been thinking about this for a very long time, like a very long time. I can't do this. What the heck is wrong with me? I think this is a spoof. I can do it, but not the way that I'm doing it. That is, for whatever reason, when I thought about this, I thought I was gonna have to snake something through. I this is gonna work. Like obviously, I'll be able to do it, but not the way that I thought I was, because since the the lack of a better term, the male end is on this side. By the time I push this in, I have to screw it on the back side. But how am I screwing it on the back side without getting a newborn? Literally, like a person fit this thing on there and then turn it and tighten it. So I do have some long pliers, but I did not think this through that well. I didn't. So for now, I'll just screw the holes and push this through and just dream and envision that maybe something will come to me. I doubt it. All right, let me just make the hole a little bit more. Okay. But yeah, so I'm into permaculture. So I'm just always looking for. I've always said permaculture enthusiast. Um, if you don't know what permaculture is, in layman's terms, it means permanent agriculture. The way I see it is, it's a design system that doesn't have to be applied to agriculture, but that's where it kind of started. And you're just trying to make things very efficient and in line with how things want to work, right? And not going in your own direction. So take your time. Well, it's not really all about taking your time, but when we tend to rush into things, a lot of failure comes from that. So I do think taking your time makes sense. It is about observing, because the only way to really do something the right way is you knowingly do it knowingly the right way. This is by looking at it or having a lot of experience in that thing and finding the right solution. Solutions come through thought, skills, and tools, right? So if you take out a tool, you better have skill and thought, but it may take you a little longer. You still could get it done. If you don't have the skill, the tool could be the best tool known to man, but your skill is not going to help that tool do what it's meant to do. You probably will make it. You probably will make that thing work harder. And obviously, thought, we have to have intention. So, yeah, I work through a lot of these things. I build on my channel, and haven't mentioned it yet, but whoever's hanging out, this is my 96th straight day going live and streaming. So I do a nightly stream every night. I've done for night. This will be the 96th night. Last night, 95, was an awesome night. So I do, different things and projects, and I just like to keep busy. Um, I'm not a creator who wants to show you one side of it. I'm not always happy. I don't bring, you guys haven't done anything to me, so I don't bring the negative energy to you. But in real life, real things happen, and I'm pretty real about those experiences. Just like this one. Like, this is a goof. Um, I want to say I got you excited, but I don't know if you were excited about it. And at least in my head, I thought I was going to be able to come on live and do this. And now what can I do to change that? Obviously, if I poke a hole big enough up here, it'll be easy for me to get to that in funnel. But I kind of enjoyed the structure of this, being that it will stay really strong. So I'll think through. I do have like a long pair of pliers that's like, it's similar to this. Maybe I could hold it on there and then turn this, but I don't know if that seems likely. But if there's a will, there's a way. In that case, it probably would have made sense for me to put those cups on this side, because this is where this hole is. I wonder if I don't think any of my children's hands could fit through that. That's why I keep saying a newborn. Um, but yeah, it's Mother's Day weekend. So I'm sure people are having a good old time. Enjoy, enjoy that. I think it sucks for me because I wanted to work outside all day. I've been inside, because of work. I've been inside all week, and I just wanted to get out and have a really good day of work and get a lot accomplished. Yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the type of plastic this is, but it doesn't tear. It's not tearing, so I do want to look up what is this, because I don't like pressing that hard. Usually you mess up the plastic that way. You hear me? What's up, man? I kind of goofed on a project, brother Eric. It's raining. I'm in the same spot, so you can see that where my chicken area is. And this old bucket, which I hate when they get to like tear zone, that really bothers me. But I'm working on the pool. I haven't been able to go. I didn't want to go in there today. I could throw on the rain jacket. I might do that later. But it's also a little cold. So I don't like being cold and wet. I could do cold. I could do wet. I don't like being cold and wet. But I saw these cups, and I've been meaning to improve my watering situation for some time. So I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to take this peanut oil container and I'm gonna put cups on it. So I started doing that on the live and did not think through the fact that my hand is not going to be able to get through there. So unless I'm putting a huge hole at the top, I got to figure out another way to do it. So that's what I was doing, and I did have another container, but it was just open in it. It was just like a Poland Spring bottle, but this one is awesome. I mean, like I said, the Poland Spring, it doesn't weather the same. I leave it out. It'll break up every now. You see it breaking up. This one just seems, and I know this is food grade because it was oil. This one just seems to really be holding up. So maybe I'll have to sacrifice and open the top and just call it what it is. The function is to be able to get the water to the chicken, so I can't be so critical about that. But yeah, I just wanted to jump in here while it rained and just do my projects, do my chores. Actually, I'm doing a Brother Eric style video. Brother Eric, you're doing your chores, man. You're getting it done on live. I gotta invest in some sort of a tablet or bring my computer out here. That was the idea, to keep the structure. Yeah. Oh, you get it. Now I have a taller one. Now I keep teasing, if I had a newborn, I could, like, maybe even a toddler. I could probably get their hand through here, and they could help me. But if I'm gonna do that, I would have just put the cups on this side and not that side. And the reason why I did it on that side is because I was thinking through being able to put tubing in here, so I could probably put a float valve in there, and I could have it auto fill, with fresh water. So then I'm gonna be working myself out of the system, and that's really what my goal is to work myself out of the system. Like I said, I do have this nice size pair of pliers. They're like super duper needle nose. I might be able to get this thing on there and then just turn the cups on this side. As long as I could just get it to bite, I'll be able to turn these cups. But yeah, I'll figure it out. But I'm not upset. This was just sitting on the side, so obviously the chickens are drinking water from where they're not even in the run right now. They're just out, uh, you know, doing what they do, finding a tree to be under. So, but that has got to change a little bit. I did, before I got under here and before it started raining so hard, I was fed up with my hen. That is broody. I'm starting to see her have conversations with the other ones, convincing them to go broody. So I have this little brooder, which I've used, when I bring them outside for the first time. And it's a little oversized for what I use it for, but it is a way to contain, and it's out of the elements. So I stuck her in there. So she's right now tucked away in there. And she was flipping out at first. Like, you just hear her going, and now she's chill. So I'm gonna give her a day or two in there on lockdown. I don't say she's in solitary, but she's definitely on lockdown. And it's not 23-1. It's gonna be like 48-2. We'll see how it goes. See, I have one here. Let me show you. Let me turn the camera. That's how you know they safe, because she's just out here. It's raining. She said, we'll just dry off later. We're not gonna worry. She's probably saying, where'd everybody go? But yeah, I appreciate the rain. I think is being behind on some of these projects. So when it comes to having this much rain and the season that it is, you're going to have less evaporation. The things are obviously getting watered now, but if you're not storing that water, if you're not creating a storage bank of water, then you're not going to be able to utilize the water that's dropping now in 3 weeks, in 2 months. So that's a little frustrating. I gotta really get to these systems so that I'm collecting the water, even though some of my stuff is going away. Like my big coop is going away, but the roof is here right now. And since I've I've really never done the research on the asphalt roof and how I feel about that water and where I'm putting it, how I'm putting that in the garden. I have two metal roofs on my chicken coop, so I should be catching all this water I'm wasting by not doing that. So I do put a lot of pressure on myself. Look, now she, what you doing? She's probably saying this rain ain't stopping. Oh, she went underneath. She found something to go underneath. What's funny though is that they don't look at this canopy. I've never seen them try to come under here. What you doing? They want to act like we don't have a good relationship, but clearly we do. But yeah, catching water. There, it's that's as big of a bucket list as it is. And I know before I started streaming, I think that was in January. I was getting, and this is before the snow came. I remember I recorded a couple videos, and I didn't post them because I just don't sound like the same person. Sound like winter got to me. But I was excited. I was excited for when the season came and all of these things I wanted to do. I wanted to bring some technology in finally, put some cameras, just for safety, and probably, I already have an automatic chicken door. I've always had automatic doors because of the way that I operate. I'll leave the property when it's getting late afternoon. I may have mostly kids activities. I'll go do the activities, go drive them wherever, and then by the time I'm coming home, it's getting dark. So at that point, who's putting the chickens away? They put themselves away, but I need something to close, so I tend to have those. But beyond that, just simple systems, just thermometers, just things that maybe humidity sensor. I actually purchased a sensor, and then I wanted to get a little microcontroller. I don't know if I was going to use either the Raspberry Pi. I think Arduino makes one as well that I was interested in, and just write a little small software that I could start adding systems, get lights, work the solar, and they have a battery that control. Oh, we got a little situation here. Oh, they want to get under this other coop. Y'all gonna have to go that way. Yeah, so what was I saying? I'm just watching you. Okay, you going for it? Oh, hold on, I put a shovel in the way. This one shovel is the difference between them wanting to, they're like 5 feet from me. But yeah, I wanted to use little gadgets and systems, and then I wanted to get more smart with it. Connect those things because they have a lot of cool stuff, like you could do low energy Bluetooth, and the device could print out stuff for you, and I could just connect it to a tablet or something in the house, like a server in the house. And then if I could do that, I could probably connect it to my phone and see what's going on from anywhere. Because I need to get more flexible. I need to get out more because I'm not an introvert, but where I'm at, I'm going to just keep working. I'm going to just keep my hands moving. So because I'm home, I'm just moving here. So I'm not having an impact or making relationships that are going to so interested to kind of, learn from, we leverage each other. And I mean, that's why the internet is more helpful for me, because I get to see things, learn from things there. But it would be great to have somebody in person. Um, like when you go around and you're pruning all your trees, and you could bring someone along, you could teach them about what you're seeing, what you do, and then you could trade with them. I was going through the list last night. Never really thought about it, but the amount of trees or types of trees and bushes and things that I've been supporting. Yes, I'm not at the stage where everything is abundant, but it takes time. The best time to grow a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. So you got to get the seed and the tree in the ground, and then reap. And as I'm learning, I'm still moving stuff around. I'm moving this to see this, or observing and saying this thing really like to be there. I've done a great job with perennials. You guys will see when the chickens set up all of that cinder block magic that I put together. When you see that come to life, like right now I'm guarding the sunflowers that I just planted yesterday. They have like a cage around them. But once the sunflowers come up, and I'm debating about going with like amaranth on the other section, and then my wife suggested beans and potentially cucumbers going up the side of the run, and that's going to help to shade. That was really the goal, is to help to shade the hens so that they are out of the elements, because I'll be very honest with you. If I purchase the property now, the realtor's gonna have fun with me. They're gonna be like, "What is he on?" I'm gonna check the angle of the sun, and based on all of the land spots that I'm looking at to do certain things like garden. So I know, the angle of the sun now. Like I know where it's at based on the season, because I know from the chickens, because they're a lot of times they'll bathe in the sun, right? They'll chill out, but once it starts getting too hot, they're always looking for shade. I know how the sun hits the house and then what is shaded. So if you're trying to plant things that want the most sun, I pretty much understand that. And wherever I would move to or get land, like, don't make it hard for yourself. Don't pick a spot and you're gonna try. Like, I know I got a friend, really nice property, is 2 acres, but when they start thinking about, oh, we want to garden, we want to build this and build that, now you have to think about destroying all of these trees, because that's your only opportunity for sun. You'd probably just be better off growing stuff that doesn't require a lot of sun and just call it a day. You'd be so we're destructive and disruptive, and the more we are like that, the less we are going in the same direction as nature. But the problem with that is when we go to sleep, things are still growing. In fact, I think they grow. That's when they grow. They grow better at night. I don't think I've been out this long in the rain, so this canopy is only a few days old, and it's gotten its due already. I don't know what the hens are looking for, because they can just go back into the run. I literally built the coop so that it's off the ground and they have an area to be in. Veltromite. What advice would you give your younger self? Can you give me an age? Can you give me an age? If you give me an age, I got you. I mean, the easiest, a teenager. Okay, I'm sorry if the sound is crazy because this canopy is. It shouldn't be because this mic should do something to block that. But man, it's rated hard. I like this. You gotta see the hens over here trying to hide. So more to you. That's a hard one because I struggled as a teenager. I think it's loud because of this canopy. If I were to go in my house or my sunroom, I would not. It would not be this loud. Maybe it's not loud to you. I don't know, but I'm okay with it. I struggled as a teenager. I already had made some mistakes that were. I struggled with going to school because it didn't. A lot of it didn't make sense. I knew that there's no promise at the end of it. I didn't agree with the so-called competition of other people needing to compete with them so that we all fit into this space. I knew that who you know is more important than how hard you work most of the time. So I struggled with that. But even within the struggle, I would have just told myself to be more disciplined and try to find a community that you could vent those things to and still get done what you need to get done. Because not much has changed in my concepts, my thoughts, but the discipline has changed. Needing to be, in fact, that's the short that I posted earlier today was about discipline, discipline over motivation. But that's it. I've always have had great ideas. I've lacked it's easy to say what you lack, but was I enough? There's times where I definitely wasn't enough, that I needed to learn more about certain things in order to make them come about. But I do wish that I held on to fighting for myself more and the ideas. So are you truly happy now? No, I don't believe in happiness. I believe in just being and just taking things as they are. And if you want to change those things, they're like, now you're in that mode, right? I'm happy because there's decisions that I've made that have allowed me to continue to follow my train of thought, and that makes me happy. I'm happy that to date I've been enough for my family, my children, and that I'm able to manage that situation. It's not easy, and most times, if you talk to me about it, it doesn't seem like I'm happy, but it could be worse. So I'm always going to live in, I do try to thrive, don't get me wrong, but sometimes we make choices that are such long-term choices. Like I'll compare two things, and to me they're very similar. When you plant a tree and you don't get fruit on it, and it may require all this attention, did you plant a tree for today or did you plant a tree for years down the road? So you don't control what's going to happen in all that time. You don't control the storms that's going to come through. It's your job just to be present and react when you can, and hopefully you sticking around and fighting to just do what you can do in the moment. Hopefully at the end you're able to eat the fruit. So I purchased a foreclosure, and that's where I'm at now, and that is similar. I didn't know it then, but it's very similar. I'm purchasing a foreclosure not so that it could stay as it is, and it was a foreclosure that needed a good amount of work, good bones, but a good amount of work. So, work and time that something may take, and potentially money. Knowing that we don't have endless money, the happiness, the fruits that you're gonna bear, you don't control, right? So you could get frustrated, which I do at times, but at the same time, the now is what I'm gonna focus on, because if I don't continue to focus on now, there won't be a future, you know. And I may never. I've asked the question. Brother Eric says vision. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You got any more questions? I love answering questions, man. And look, I think we all have the ability to be great. Um, I have been blessed to have met a lot of people that I was willing to listen to when they were given the game that I needed to. Like, I remember my coach in college. I played Division III basketball, and my coach, Coach Adams, he used to always say, like, D, you gotta humble yourself. Now I'm already a humble person, and he continued to tell me, you just gotta humble yourself. And so I get to go back and always hear him to tell me, just humble yourself about these situations. You know, many of, I shouldn't say all of us, but many of us have great examples around us that we don't use to help propel us into our next phase. Last night, before Brother Eric got on the stream, I started the stream, my whole face was drooped, everything, I just wasn't in the mood. And one of my friends got on, and he goes, yeah, I got fired from my job. And he's a jokester, right? And he said he didn't really give me the whole story. But it's like, people, who am I to be here and look at my situation down? And it's not something that I want to teach my kids, to not fight for what they want. J Rocks, what's up? It's all about my kids, man. I have to sometimes try to be selfish, because I've quit jobs because me coming home every day and having something negative to feel and offering my family negative energy, that's the line. That's the line. That is not in line with who I am. And I can't sleep at night knowing that I'm just going along with the program and not getting something. Because we only have a short amount of time to pass off what you need to pass off. Okay, got a scary teddy bear in there. I love it. You should have come last night. We was terrified that I was gonna have a bear come out of nowhere. So, but yeah, it's all about the kids, man. My kids, and they're normal kids. They're blessed. And they play games like everyone else. I guess they're lucky in a sense that I understand what they're doing. I understand that they don't know why they're doing it. Thanks for that, J-Rocks. If you have a question, if you want me to expand on something, I'm not here to be no guru. It's just my lived experience. You hit the like button and you a pink. Yuffie, I was just mentioning you, man. Sneaky lives now. Thank you, Sophie. And you as well. So that's an interesting one, Brother Eric. So couldn't say that I actually have a denomination, but I may not translate. So I'll translate the faith part. Absolutely, my faith in the Most High, right? a higher power. When I'm in the garden, I'm actually learning about the things that was designed. So I'm a software engineer, I always say, and I'm actually going to stop saying that because I think there is a problem with people who define themselves as their career. I was saying how when I was looking sad yesterday and you joined the stream and you said you got fired, and I was just saying that you gotta, you gotta humble yourself because people are going, even though you're a jokester and you're gonna figure it out, that I have to humble myself because people are going through serious things, you know. But yeah, back to Brother Eric. When I write software, I see it as an art, right? I like designing things and products, and that's one of the reasons why the AI era is a little disturbing, is because people are weaponizing something that is someone else's art. What stops us from having automated systems that just do painting and we no longer cherish painters? One of the things I've never been able to prove is that software is art. Why do I call it an art? Well, art is when a person could take it on. If you give 10 people one task and you give them something to do and they all could do it differently, and you can't debate whether that person did it right or wrong, right? I can have my own way to arrive at an objective. So that's where you start getting into the artistry of something. Hey man, what's up? Yuffie says, what's this about? I was just out here, I was trying to be successful with my new chicken water, but I kind of didn't think it through because I'm an artist. So artists fail. Uh, so yeah, I'm an artist, and when I write software, that's how I see it. But the industry doesn't see it that way. The industry needs there needs to be a bottom line. There needs to be money that's made, and once we get into the capitalism part of it, then we need a structure to manage the money, because the money is no, it's a chicken waterer. These are cups so that the chickens could drink water. So then you need a job, right? Or I actually don't agree with that. I don't believe that everyone needs a job, everyone needs to work. But for the sake of what I'm trying to say, you need a job. You need to figure out how you're going to prosper in your definition and make money. Damn, Kevin Hart. What's that about? You got me with that one. So you need a job. So naturally, if I have a skill, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna say, let me go find a place to work. So then I go find a place to work, and the moment that I get hired, I'm in a weird relationship with my art, my which is a skill, but it's an art. I'm expressing art because now someone is able to judge how I do the art, when I do the art, and so it just never it doesn't seem to work out. So I really don't like defining myself as just my profession, because I think we're all more than that, right? Art won't pay the light bill. You better get priority straight. So you know what's funny about that? Is it Sojo or Soho? Sojo. You know what's funny about that? So separate the bills. I'm not saying that I don't acknowledge that bills can be paid. I actually am struggling to respect myself for all the things that I can do to get the bills paid, because my response, my reaction to how society functions is what you're saying is you better get your priorities straight. Well, why can't my priorities be, just growing chickens and figuring out that as a business? And until, not that I want to do that, but I have all these other skills, and I'm finding it hard because I may not consider those a profession because I went to college and all of this language that is silly. Not the source of the income. Yeah, but what if you don't have an income to support your lifestyle? So I don't think you're gonna have self-respect if you're not able to uphold whatever lifestyle you want. I don't think there's one way that you could just. I'm definitely not the sentence, the cliche that works for everybody. I don't think it's a one size fits all. There was a guy on TV years ago named Mick Dodge. Mick Dodge used to live in the world, and he ended up in the forest, and he was very successful in the forest, barefoot. It was an amazing story. Buffalo Butt, I do remember you. Brenda. Oh, my mother's name is Brenda. Most powerful, earth-shaking, groundbreaking, tsunami creating, reality-bending, universe absorbing, fart of all time. Okay. Why do I have to tone my lifestyle down like everyone else? Do you see my lifestyle? I could eat. Yeah, but I think so Joe, I think you're looking for some words to trust me. I'm good. I'm good. Trust me. I'm good. I'm on a path, and I've been on the right path. Even while on the right path, you're gonna have some questions, some doubt. Uh, Trust me. I'm good. I'm a skilled individual. Uh, when I need to do something, you go into like the old school man who there was a point where he had kids young, and what he told me as an adult, he said, "Listen, I was 19 years old, and I was told uh, I need to get a job to take care of this situation. That's really the only way to fix this, so to speak." Yeah, I mean, well, that's so Joe. I mean, I just what I'm reading from it is that these words that we put out there work for everybody, and I don't think it works like that. If you ask me questions about me, um, I could, I could give that to you and we could have that kind of dialogue. But I'm okay either way. Buffalo Butt says, oh, just real quick before I read that. So my father at 19 got a job, and he started telling me about the different jobs he had. He worked on the Brooklyn Bridge, like he was shaving down, like doing maintenance, like working with welding tools. And he told me this. He was about, let's say he was about 62. He said he never stopped working from 19 to 62 and has nothing to show for it. What do you mean? I say I'm blessed all the time. See, this is what the internet does for you. You come on a channel, no research. You don't know who you're talking to. You see what you see. Like for instance, you see my holy hoodie, my hobo chic, and you make assumptions. You see the gray in the beard, and you make assumptions. We don't know each other from a hole in the wall. I'm a very calm, content person. Very calm. And I hope you find what you're looking for. Oh, okay. Well, at least you watch some Sanford and Son. You gotta make sure you watch a lot of that. So Buffalo Butt says, "What was your first job?" Um, I'll go with job. 14 years old. I worked at a temp agency in Manhattan. Though I didn't like it, I felt like I was on display. I was cleaning doorknobs, literally. I worked So it was a temp agency, so people would come there, and I don't know if things still exist this way, but you would go there and you would, fill out. You would give them your resume, you would tell them your skills, and then they would try to go get you a job, a temporary job. They would do a lot of your bidding. Hold up, hey, you might be his daddy. I don't know about that, man. Everybody gonna have a child that pop up. I've thought about that. What do you do when a child just pops up out of nowhere? But to my knowledge, I have. Hey there, Katie. I have 3 kids, and me and my wife have 3 kids, and all those 3 kids is from our situation. Now I don't know no tinkerer. I am a tinkerer, but I don't know no tinkerer. But yeah, my first job, it was called ASA personnel. I was working in Midtown Manhattan at 14 years old, and I was making minimum wage. A good friend of mine, his mom got me the job, and I was cleaning doorknobs and screens. I would just walk around with Windex, and in my off time from doing that, I would sit down at the machines. They had all these testing tools. So back then, um, put in Microsoft off a big deal. Typing speed was a big deal. So they had these typing quizzes that you would be able to take, and Microsoft Office, Word Perfect, all different types of word processing tools, spreadsheet tools. So I was 14 years old, and in my off time, I just used to test. I just used, and it was a game for me. I'm just clicking around. We talk the same too. Come on, man. Come on. Are you trolling me? Are you trolling me? Hey, subscribe to the channel. My email is on the about section on the channel page. Send me a picture. I don't think so, but send me a picture. I ain't out here denying nobody. It'd be weird for my family though. You would? No, I said send me a picture. Deadbeat. Oh, you trying to do pop the balloon with dads and old children that they have? No, I ain't never been that, man. You can't. It's really hard to be that when you were raised. A lot of people have daddy issues out here in the world. We were raised by. Yeah, let's convert the trolls. Right. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, we're definitely troll converters. You guys can say whatever you want to say. Katie is one of my mods. We will remove something, like somebody said something about a child getting kidnapped earlier. I don't know if that was real or not, but I did remove that. Other than that, man, say what makes you feel good. I didn't grow up with this form of expression. Hey, if it works for you, it works for you. So, yeah, but I was going to tell you a story, because whenever I think about that, I had this one really somber memory. It was the day that I believe it was David Wells pitched a perfect game. I was coming home, same route I always come home, and I saw my friends. Now I'm 14, so I was in high school at the time, and this is the summer, and I saw my friends, and none of them had a job. I had a job. So, I'm dressed up because, you work in the city. I'm dressed up nice, and I see my friends, and they're just hanging out. And I'm like, all right, let me go walk over there. So, I'm getting the jokes or whatever. Like, I look how I look, but I got a paycheck. They on to some other things. We know what route they're about to go down. And we just chopping it up. And I hear what sounds like fireworks, like down the block. And we like, yo, who's doing fireworks in the daytime? It's kind of crazy. I remember it clearly. I was on Marion Avenue on 188th Street in the Bronx. And then 2 seconds later, maybe 30 feet from us, you see somebody letting off. Gone. And we all scatter. we go to run behind cars. That was the instinct. I mean, my legs didn't lock up, but I was last to get to where the car was, like behind the car. So there was no more cars for me to go behind. So then I kept going, probably like 30 more feet, just running. And I go to run up where on this street, there's the houses. There's not many houses, but where there is a house, um, the porch, the garage is at the bottom, and then there's stairs that you walk up, and then there's sort of a deck on top of the garage. So I go to walk up the person's stairs, and they block me. 14 years old, and so I'm running away from gunshots, and they block me as I probably go 1, 2, and the person stops me. When I turn back around, it's like they blocked me. I couldn't go up their stairs to get away. I'm gonna go find somewhere else. When I turn back around to walk down the stairs, the guy runs right past me with the gun. Like, he's gun in hand, and he's running away from the scene with the gun. I almost bumped the guy. He makes it to the end of the block. So like, I'm like, at that point, like, obviously nothing happened to me, like, physically. Oh, Katie, if I was able to air it out, man. So the guy ends up getting another block, and then he gets killed in a shootout by the police on what's called Fordham Road, which is the next block over. None of my friends, we all were okay, but then, you know, you get to where the crime scene was, where the initial thing happened at, was a block in a different direction. The story was that one guy was, after the car tried to run the guy over, oh yeah, absolutely. There's two sides to that, Katie. I'll get the story out and then I'll respond to that. I smell some barbecue. Oh, my neighbor is grilling. I might have to get a little umbrella and start grilling too. In fact, I could grill under here. I need to get like a little tabletop grill. I could go to town under here. So there was one guy, and then another guy was trying to run him over with the car. He didn't run him over, and he's the one who ended up getting shot. He runs out of his car. I guess the car like crashed, and then he tries to run away, and he runs up these city steps. The city steps, this is very ironic, because on my stream at night, there's a background, and that background is of city steps. When I first started streaming, somebody said, oh, you're trying to do the Joker, like Batman and the Joker. Those city steps are known now for that really good Joker movie. So it was city steps. The steps are right across the street from my elementary school. Well, I'm in high school at this point, and the problem for me was that where the guy got shot and killed, the blood just drizzled down the steps. So you have these city steps. I could guess 3 more stairs. And about 40 of those stairs, there's blood that's going down the stairs. And then on another block, you know, when they finish the crime scene, the blood is just there. So like for, I would say, months, I was still like, I wasn't traumatized then, looking back on it, I could consider some sort of a trauma. But everyone, it's those things where, like, just like COVID, right? It's hard for us to tell COVID stories because everyone went through it. 9/11. It's hard for us to tell 9/11 stories because everyone was, who was there was impacted by it. So everyone in my neighborhood, it wasn't about Darnell seeing Darnell or Daryl. I wasn't Daryl yet. I actually had a friend in my crew named Daryl. So it was Darnell and Daryl. Uh, yeah, so where I would go, if you go to the train, I would kind of see that spot. If I went near my elementary school where I used to play basketball every now and then, I would still see the remnants of the blood that kind of like burned into the city steps. And, those are just things that you think about. But that job, Katie, the guy asked me a question, what was your first job? And I don't have many memories of that because I was traumatized by coming home that one day at that job. But yeah, so Katie says, made you who you are today, so much to give the world. Yeah, yeah, it does, but I don't feel unique in that. I feel like I met Yuffie at probably 11 or 12, and we had a lot of overlap. We've had different stages of friendship, but I don't feel like we've seen such different things. So that when you concentrate so many people, like growing up in the city, and more than just the city, growing up in the Bronx, growing up in a non-affluent area, you're putting a lot of people in a small place, and their experiences are not that much different than one another. It's a very similar experience. When something happens negative over there, we all go through it. Something happens positive, we all kind of go through it. You ask about like the going to the store, like the simple things, the candies, the gums, going to get a strawberry shortcake, a 10-cent icy. We all kind of, if you go to the same bodega, you you doing similar stuff. You have the same park. Maybe like I met Shadow Black when I was, he says 2, I'll say 5 or 6, but I can't say he's wrong because he might have a memory of playing at the park and meeting me, when we were like really young, because we grew up 1 block away from each other. He's from 187, I'm from 188, and we have one main park that's in that area. We were kids around the same time, so who's to say that we didn't meet when we were 2 years old? But and I have a good group of friends that all could vouch for everything, all the stories that I tell. Like when Jim McCann was on the other night, that was so random. Ironically, the night after, I have a Chromecast. I've had it for some time. I don't even know if people even know what that is anymore. But it's just a little Google device before all of the TVs had smart TV software. And plug it in, it's just doing a slideshow. It's connected to my photos. I had took a photo of my 3rd year of playing college basketball, of the actual like poster. I have the poster, and then I just took a picture of it so it shows up on the screen. And I did bring up one time I was talking about my teammate Brad. I am blessed about that, and I really wish they could come on the channel and you could see, like, I've really thought about like recreating photos. Like I have a photo with Yuffie from 8th grade, and I believe he's taller than me in the photo, and things ended up changing, but the whole group that the photos of, we ended up getting a random WhatsApp group chat years later. The same exact group is binded by this photo from the 8th grade. And even though we all have different relationships with each other, we haven't remained all super close. Like, not we're all close, but we don't talk to each other that much. We ended up creating a WhatsApp chat randomly, and then I sent him the picture and was like, "Oh my god, like we need to recreate that." But yeah, so the night after I was talking about Brad, my old teammate, I see that picture come up on my Google, and then I see Jim McCann, and I'm like, oh my god, like yeah, he was there the whole time, you know. But I can't say I have estranged relationships with like the teams that I played on, but they are like I'm more distant. Once I moved up here, there's more question marks about what I'm doing, and you know. But when I see people, it's always all love. Now my childhood friends, so I have like different batches of friends. I have like my childhood friends, people I met in. I went to two different colleges, so I have the first college set of people, and then I have the second college set of people. But I'm generally close and have loving, good relationships. I have met a lot of people that I would support and do things for, and they would have my back for sure. Um, but yeah, I was just coming out here to hang out. Katie, you missed it. I failed today. I was trying to turn this peanut. Uh, this is a container that had peanut oil in it during Thanksgiving, and for whatever reason, I didn't think through it. I was supposed to put these cups on the front, and then these are the fasteners to go in the back, but without um, getting a hole in here, which I still might just do a nice size hole. I have a hole dozer, and yeah, I might. You know what? Is anybody still here hanging out except for Katie? Drop something in the chat. Let's talk. Let's get through it. This is my new canopy. You know, I like to stay busy. Like one of these bad boys. But I feel like there's no guarantee. I'm like my cycles are kind of working right now. So I was talking about these. Good thought process. Yeah. Well, it's a lot better than where I came from, Katie. I was using a bucket. I guess you know I have tops for these buckets. It's destroyed now, but I put the hole too high. I'm guessing it worked for when it worked, but this type of plastic cracks more when you just keep it out. This peanut oil container is obviously food grade safe because it had peanut oil in it. Um, it lasted. It was outside the whole winter. Um, would love to get to know you. Yeah, no, it's we did have a few people earlier. Then we had a trolls, and we had it's like going back and forth. I mean, for me, it's raining. It's again a cold rain. It's not a nice warm rain, so I don't want to be out there. I don't want to get sick or anything. But I'm wondering if, I mean, this is the piece. All I would really need to do is get this piece. See, it's already failing for me because if I want to thread it, I'll probably have to hold it like this somehow. And then when I'm going down, it's into a science project. That's what I don't like. Because I might end up making something that would be fun. Just to make something to support this. And then I could like go straight down and press it up against this, and then all it has to do is go in it a little bit, and then I could just turn it from the outside, and then it will be straight. But I think I'm gonna try it at some point today. I'll think through it, And then sometimes what happens with me is I'm so smart that I'm stupid. Like I I want to be so efficient. I know what I'm looking at. I know why I'm doing it because that's what matters to me. The person who could help me with the last leg of this, they did not consider the things that I've considered about why this is one of the best case scenarios for me doing this. But they'll have the answer to say, "Oh, just do it that way. Why don't you just do that?" And that, that's why I appreciate having different balance around. In fact, since it's Mother's Day, kudos to my wife. She was out here. She does not think through the things with me, but she does come and just give a dose of that was easy. I was talking through trying to get all the shade in the chicken area, and because the weather hasn't functioned, it's really hard to think about how we're going to get, plants in there. You don't buy sunflower seeds, you plant sunflower seeds. So the temperatures haven't really gotten up to where you need them, was considered like warm weather plants. So I've been a little in. So I gotta do it. So I said, let me just put these sunflowers in, and I'm telling my wife about it, and she was like, why don't you just put pole beans in the back over there? Um, has a cover to keep water clean. I don't focus too much on the water clean part because even if I had it open, I could just put like a mesh over it, and yeah, I don't know if I'm focused too much because it's not a lot of water. So I don't think I've had too much issues with the water going on me. If I had to speak to my issues, thanks for putting that comment, Katie, because it helps me. This is why I do it, because I need to strengthen why I'm thinking it and sometimes know whether I'm overthinking it. And when I say it out loud, it does help me to understand that. But first, Exhibit A is these bucket systems. This is a 5-gallon bucket, right? This point is too high because I'm missing out on all of this water. But in order to cover these, which you should, because chickens will try to go in if something's wrong with the cup. They'll try to do whatever they can, and they might be able to drown in here. I've never had that issue, but more stuff we get in here, mosquitoes. This is like a really big opening. With this, what I was more so hoping with the top is that since it's a hard plastic top, I would drill holes in the top and then put tubing in here so that I could actually possibly put a pump and in some sort of a sensor to refill this or take water out of it if I needed to, kind of like a hands-off scenario. And let's think about why that could be a good idea. Like overnight, no one's drinking water, right? And it's not as if like small rodents, mice or whoever, it's not like they can't get into the coop. They can if they wanted to. And what is one thing that they need? They need water. So when they can't find the water sources that they're going to, who's to say that they're not using these type of systems to drink? So if I could not have water in there when I don't want it, that might be a benefit. But maybe that's overthinking. I haven't had too much issues, and I did move the coop further away from the house. So whoever wants to go up there, they're allowed to. I'm seeing holes. I think it's a possum because I don't think the fox wants to be too close. And I think if it were a fox, I would have had more issues with the fox hanging around in the morning when the chickens are out, when the automatic door opens, because they're on a light schedule. So once the light hits the sensor, it opens. They're not on a time schedule. But yeah, I think this bottle, and I have a bigger one. This is about, I'd say 1.5, maybe 2 gallons. And then I have one that I think is 5 gallons. So I was just gonna try this one first. I was potentially going to use the other one for water catchment, and set up my a little system on the chicken coop roof and just get a sense of when it rains, how much water collects, like how much am I able to collect? Because this is valuable commodity. At this point, it is. Have water stuff to feed animals and livestock. Just in case we need to make potable water. Oh, please, please. Yeah, and I've watched a ton, Katie. It's just that this season being what I'm thinking of and interested in. I spent so many years mimicking what I saw on YouTube, what I saw people do successfully. I would go out and purchase things that I saw someone, do. And I would say my success rate is close to 20% out of 100 on taking things one to one without kind of like knowing what you're doing and adopting it. Like case in point, my James Prigioni, huge YouTuber. I think he has maybe 2 million subscribers. He's earned and he deserves every one of them, right? Very high energy gardener. He has presented the journey of gardening. It was backyard, no till, and then he ended up doing bigger systems. Everything looks great when he's on camera. He could just do walks around. He has an animal involved. He's had chickens. He's had a little dog that does all the things with him, and he speaks like high energy. He had this, I was actually just watching it the other day. He had this really cool greenhouse topper. It sparked my idea. I went in and made it, and came out good. I think I posted a video about it. Like, I grew stuff in there the first season for sure, and it helped me to extend the season. Now, I did not, and he didn't say this, I don't think he said this, but I started to observe issues with it. And these systems that we create, they're unnatural. If I leave this place here, what do you think is gonna grow? Something's gonna come. They're competing. People don't see it this way, but there's a lot of competition going on, right? There's this spot right here. I'll just walk to it real quick. This spot right here is all I see is broadleaf plantain. A little grass there. Then this is, I see mugwort. I see lamb's quarter, and everyone that is growing in like somewhat of a bunch, right? They're bunching up like little gangs, and they're trying to claim territory. So watching these growth patterns, if I left this, whoever's gonna take this over is gonna take it over. And that's nature at working. Some might be invasive, but it's par for the course. There's no such thing as invasive. But hold on, my phone's probably dying soon. Let me see. Bigger than being invasive, the plant is still of the earth, right? We call it invasive because we've somewhat trapped certain species, or we have weird stories about how certain species not just plants but animals, funguses, fungi, every all things, they would move from here to there, from there to there, and we just kind of attach these words to it, like weeds, right? Broadleaf plantain, weed, super edible, uh, better than anything I've seen. If you get stung by a bee or a wasp, just kind of sucks the thing right out. But it's a weed somehow, so it has its uses. Um, so I don't even know why I was saying that. I've been on here too long. Thinking mix. What was I was thinking? You could take mix the mesh the two. Yeah, no, that's kind of my approach now. That's my approach now. And the biggest thing is just to start. I've been thinking these things for so long. One of the goals that I'm trying to usher in with this channel is seeing me design in real time. That's what the stream started out being. That's kind of what it still is. You're seeing me grow and design in real time and learning about these things and doing a better job of them and improve my vocabulary, my confidence. So I agree. You just can't take something one to one. But I have to start. I don't care if it's a little like this. What I'm interested in is learning about systems, and I want to learn about systems in a way where I know how much rain is dropping, and I know how much rain I can yield from this amount of rain dropping. Like where and how can I store this? Where can I store it? And just get better with these simple systems. And that's why I got to get over some of these large projects, because the large projects, the delays of those have stopped me from expressing myself artistically with a lot of what I'm doing here and what I want to do. So I'm able to do things in spurts, and that's okay, but obviously it comes with its limitations. But my phone's about to die. I didn't mean to cut it short. I have been on here for an hour and 30. Didn't know we was gonna do that. But Katie, thank you so much for showing up. We did have some people come back, which was cool. Someone named Buffalo Butt came back. A few others. Pretty cool name. And Sojo, if you see this, thanks for your contributions. I don't necessarily agree with what you were saying. It's not as hard and fast. You can't just say a sentence and it works for everybody, but I do appreciate coming in and making some comments. Do you think your phone is dying? I need to go. Okay, see you later. See you later, Katie. I'm gonna get out of here too. Thank you so much. Peace.